I've had the good fortune to travel on several hunts around the world, and this rates as one of the best. I hunted with Buzz in 2019, and I don't know that there are anybody any better. There might be equals, but I don't know. I haven't seen them yet.
And on that hunt, we were discussing what our next hunt should be, and Frank was keen on a leopard. And on the same token, he also wanted to experience a different area. We decided to book in Chewore North. Our area, the western boundary, is the Chewore River. And then we're hunting east of here. This is where the camp is here. This is called the Mwanja River. And this is what the camp is called, Big 5 Mwanja Camp. We are gonna have, and then we're gonna look down these little rivers coming in like this. This is called the Kandararo. Very good. We're gonna have a bait in there. We'll put one midway on one of these little rivers here. We'll have another one, this is called the Tunza Hot Springs. One here, one there. We're gonna have 4 or 5 baits in this section. We'll try and shoot the odd impala for bait. It's not like Nyakasanga where they're jumping behind every bush. And then hippo, once we get a hippo, our bait issues should come to an end.
There we go.
This labio, in 34 years I've been fishing in Zambezi, this is number 4. 34 years, they don't bite on the worms. You are very lucky, I tell you.
That's right.
What a way to start the safari.
Kev, this is for you. This is Frank. The first 10 minutes he's into a tiger. And we've decided the problem was following your advice the last time. Oh, look at that fish here. Hey!
There we go.
There's our tiger.
Look at those teeth. Give it a kiss. Fantastic, man. Well done.
All right, let's get him back in. Frank, well done, man. Hey? How's that for a first little deal, eh? A couple of things when we're choosing a bait site that you got to bear in mind. One is the wind, obviously. We have a predominant east-west wind, so the wind is going to come like this. So our blind obviously has to be on the western side. Right. That's one. The other important thing is, because you're only allowed to shoot in daylight hours, you have 2 sittings. You have a morning and an afternoon. So you got to think about your approach, where you can walk in without being seen, because you walk in just at first light, and you got to have a quiet walk and be able to get in there, because quite often leopard are shot in the morning also. So there's a little gully. That's a beautiful walk in. We'll have the blind on the top there. We'll be able to walk in there super quietly. Nothing will see us. So quite a nice setup. There's a male leopard track that we saw up there. There's obviously a dominant male leopard here, so it's a good site. What we've got to do is, when we choose the branch, and it'll be the branch that goes up like this, we choose a branch that the cat is broadside. Yeah. So what we do is we actually instigated that the cat has to feed broadside. We've got so much time in the beginning. Once it feeds, you haven't got time. You don't want to mess too much. So you spend the time in the beginning getting the situation as you want it. Initially we had baited with a tuskless that some other clients had shot. It's not the best bait for leopard, but it certainly works. And when you haven't got any other bait, it's a good bait. What a lot of people don't realize when they watch movies of leopards is they end up seeing a client sitting in a blind shooting the cat. What you don't often see is the huge amount of work that the trackers end up doing to get that client into that situation. he'll be on that branch, feeding exactly where Crichton is.
Gotcha.
So that's quite a nice setup. And this, you see this path here, we'll clear it nicely here.
Oh, sure.
It'll be a
to the scully.
beautiful walk in here, and that blind will be high up there. It won't see us. We'll backfill in here. Be a nice place, nice chair, nice rest. You'll be in good shape. That's nice.
So that's rock solid, huh?
Be absolutely rock solid.
Yep.
It is hard work, and you've got to get in there unseen and unnoticed. Okay, good. Bait one done. Frank, let's roll.
Yes.
You need a good team, and luckily for me, I have an exceptional team that love what they're doing, and is one of the reasons that we are so successful on our cats. But it's credit to the trackers. It very much is a team effort to get Frank to where he is in a position to shoot a trophy leopard.
Nice job.
Thank you.
We got all the baits up. You're gonna put $50, I'm gonna put $50. And it adds to the excitement. We draw straws and the tracker, so there's a $100 prize for the bait that gets eaten that we kill the leopard on, and then the trackers draw straws and then they have their baits.
Ah, perfect.
It adds to all the vibe.
You betcha.
Which is
You betcha.
good. $50 spent, so that's what we'll do. We'll throw in 50 a piece and we'll get a little competition going.
You got it. You got one. We are hanging bait. Already caught a tigerfish, and the mojo is running on the high end, so that's exactly what we need. And all we need to do is get our leopard. Hanging bait, we're hanging 6 baits today, and keep checking them until we find one that's active, and we'll hunt it. See where it goes from there.
It's amazing. It looks like leopard country, doesn't it, Frank?
Yeah, for sure.
Certainly in areas like this, one of the biggest challenges is getting your bait for your leopard, which is obviously essential. It's an area, Chewore North, where there's not a lot of plains game, so you do struggle for bait. But on the other side of the coin is when you get a cat feeding, due to the fact that there's not a lot of plains game, it's almost a guarantee he'll keep coming in. So from a cat perspective, it works well for us. The zebra win this one. They're watching us way on the other hill. You think you can brain shoot it at 600 meters, Frank? No problem, we'll get other opportunities there. We have about 30 kilometers of what we call the Mapata Gorge, which is the most beautiful area. It's where the Zambezi River carves through these huge hills, and it creates some very rugged terrain. And it's in this area that I wanted to hunt. There you go, another hot day, eh? Another hot day in Africa. Most people in this area will go inland and bait for leopard, and there's a lot of leopard inland as well. I really wanted to get down on the boat, hunt along the river, and get one of these good cats that come down on the tributaries onto the Zambezi. Of them, eh? No, I think let's go back down in the gully. Frank, I think for this one, maybe let's come on down and just hang until we choose the right spot, and then I'll come and find you. because I may end up doing in this gully in and out, and then we're going to go back down there.
Okay.
We don't want to go past these cows just yet either. Not bad.
Beautiful. There's our own built-in fan.
So we found a nice spot, found a nice male leopard track, looked at the tree, thought, wow, this is a leopard tree. I climb up there, guess what? A leopard had killed a baboon 2 days ago.
Sitting up in that tree.
And put him in that tree. Look, he finished him, but that's obviously the tree of his choice as well.
Ah,
And a nice male track, so that's a pretty good start right there.
well, I would say so.
So that was a good start. We put up our first bait there and spent the whole day baiting in the gorge. So we set off by boat down the Mapata Gorge, and we chose 5 nice sites. So Frank, we put our bait up, and you see the sausage tree, the branch going out like that, and the blind comes across here. The wind blows straight down towards the Zambezi, and it's a magic bait. A lot of these baits, because of where they are evening baits. Your best opportunity is the evening. To come down in the dark can be a little difficult, but you know, when you get them feeding here, man, it's you should get them in the evening. You got a lot of lines here. Did you see the male leopard track here?
Yes, yes, certainly.
Up there and then 6.
Look at the
6 baits. Yeah.
6, yeah. 6.
That's good, man. Now for day 1, we've got 6 baits out. That's enough. A male leopard did come, but he didn't eat. He will be, he knows it's there, eh?
I have to try to express to you how excited I am about the leopard. It's something that I've dreamed of for years, and coming here and experiencing the hunt, I'm very excited and pleased.
Good shot. We don't have any other bullets. Hold on, Frank. That's a dead leopard. You got him. So that's a leopard for us.
Thank you.
Well, that was lucky, eh? It's not easy to get an impala here, Frank. So that's good.
Okay.
Great bait, Frank. Well done. First blood. And what we're going to do, we're going to cut the impala and the bushbuck in half, and we're going to put a half a fresh bait
In each one of them.
on each other. The problem with the elephant, it's great, it's smelling nice, but the elephant's got a day or maybe two. But if they've got a nice half impala or a half bushbuck, that'll keep them. So we've got 4 fresh pieces to add. We've got to choose which ones to put them on, and I think the Mwanja one, the first bait we put, is a good one. We're going to put 1 there, and then we're going to put 3 down the river. Look at this, Frank. This is the leopard's base. He's killed 2 baboons and eaten 2 of them in this tree. We're going to put the whole impala there now. Let him feed on that. He ate a little bit of that elephant, but obviously it's a favorite tree of his. He's had 2 baboons in this tree in the last month or so, so he'll come back, and we've got a good
I'm
travel.
going to get my leopard right there in 4.
That's
Told you
your-
yesterday.
That's your tree.
You said it too.
Yeah, absolutely. Now we're going to have a dilemma because we're going to find another one's fed down there. But that's a good dilemma
That's
to
okay.
have.
That's a good sign.
So we set off downriver initially with 4 legs, and we put them up on some good tributaries, including one on a nice cat way down on the river. The one thing that there is no shortage of here in the Chewore North are elephants. A young bull. Yeah, we want to be a little bit careful of him. Okay, let's go quietly. And it is amazing. They really are incredibly intelligent animals. This elephant bull would have gone to the bait. They can smell the elephant meat. It'll be interesting to see what is done. Frank, that elephant pulled down all those branches. Remember, we had put the 2 branches for the leopard to get up. He pulled it down. Hey. And it is interesting, the following day when we went and checked the situation, where we had put a beautiful log for the leopard to climb up and feed, we found an elephant bull had smelt the bait. This young bull obviously knew it was an elephant, and he went berserk and he destroyed the whole bait site, leveled the poles to the ground. Just a very interesting thing that these animals are as intelligent as that.
The other game that we did see when we were traveling around, elephants. Seen many elephants, many elephants. And in fact, one situation when we were on the river, there were a pair of young bulls that were establishing superiority, I guess, who was going to be the alpha male. And they were putting up quite a ruckus. It went on for a long time, and we were able to film some of that.
We had a wonderful experience seeing a couple of young elephant bulls play fighting in the water. Truly a remarkable experience that you can only get when you're in these wild big areas like the Chewore and the Dandy and the Nyakasanga. Done a little walk looking for impala, no luck, but seen a few elephants. Actually, been a good elephant afternoon, all in all. We reviewed the footage on the trail camera. 4:30, yes sir. Frank, I'll come and show you there now, eh?
4 in the morning?
No, in the afternoon. Eh? I like the leopard, but yet we were day 2. I wanted to see what else we could get on bait. Funny enough, it was a very distinct leopard. He had what we called the G-man. He was called what we call the G-man because he had a G sign on his right flank. So a very distinguished feature. Very nice cat. He was coming in daylight hours, which is a big advantage. This is a safari area where you are not allowed to use a light.
Oh boy.
How pretty that is, eh? He's big enough for us.
It looks like he posed.
He does, doesn't he?
Oh, he's beautiful.
For a long time I've wanted to get a warthog, and that's not been capable for one reason or another. Just didn't come across them. But we did today.
It'll shoot through, don't worry, it'll go through that. So long as you can see the head, he's looking at us. Good shot, good shot. Do a bit. Lots of shit, but we had to take the shot. Good shooting, Frank. Perfect shot. Right through the shoulders, eh? Right, look at those big old woods on him, eh?
Yeah.
You didn't bank on a young pair of 80-year-old eyes spotting him.
There you go. As you can see, there's the pay dirt right there. Been fun. The whole trip has been great. Absolutely great. And this is one of the caps of it. Still after my leopard, but we just got started on that and expect that to take place in a few days.
Great shot from Frank. Not easy. Three warthogs. This guy is what I call a really old boy. He's worn down his tusks. But this is an area where there's not a ton of plains game. This is hard, the Zambezi Valley. And he'll be great for two leopard baits, and he's a super old, smelly old warthog. So great shooting from Frank. Well done, Frank.
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Fantastic, Frank. And we're at that point we really need some baits. So that's 2 leopard baits right there, eh?
Gave us a good reason.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good enough reason right there. 1, 2, 3, go. Go. Hey. A nice setup here. This is called a wild mango tree. The flowers are just coming. In another month or 2, you get these little mangoes that the elephants love.
Oh, okay.
And if you're tracking elephants and you're coming up to a tree like this, almost a guarantee, because this time of year they offer good shade and the fruit comes out there.
And water.
And yeah, so yeah. See what the bulls have done shaking this. You see where they pull the bark off?
Oh, yeah.
That's from them shaking the tree to try and get the fruit to fall.
They've already started it, haven't they?
Yeah, there's no fruit, silly buggers there, but you can see where over the years they've done it as well.
Yeah. I have to admit, I had no idea just exactly what I was getting into when I booked the leopard hunt. The work that goes into preparing for a leopard. The gentlemen, Eddie, Nayate, Crichton, work as a team, climb these trees. Up they go, sometimes barefooted. Now, I want to tell you, climbing these trees I was impressed. I didn't think anybody could climb a tree like these gentlemen do.
He says he's got to watch his balls, but yeah, he's had 3 kids anyway. It doesn't matter now, Frank. Work's done, eh?
Looking for the elusive zebra. And check this. This one. Look fast. Ready to go, Frank?
Ready. I'm ready.
So we're gonna take a walk here slowly down to the Zambezi, and then we're gonna go parallel with the Zambezi, looking for zebra and or a impala, basically on the bait run. You outwalked us, Frank. On one of our little walking sessions looking for impala, we bumped into a young elephant bull. Most beautiful setting. He was on the banks of the Zambezi with the mighty red cliffs behind. And he was a little bit cheeky, so we had to avoid him a little bit, moving further away from him. Frank, come here. Just come this way, Frank. Okay, he smelled us and ran away. Certainly it's situations like this that make the bait run interesting and memorable. I mean, truly a very, very beautiful setting with that bull with the red cliffs behind, and an enjoyable experience. That elephant bull was beautiful, but the problem was he was coming up on the elephant path we were on. That's why I wanted us to get off, because if he didn't smell us, we would have right into the guy.
Yeah.
Big bodied bull, maybe 30 pounds of tusks, but
No rhinos left here?
finished. Last one got killed in 1992. Yeah. And this here, Dandy, had the highest concentration of rhino in the whole of the Zambezi Valley. Everyone killed there, not one left there. Yeah. One day they'll come from Texas, we'll restock.
That's right. No, that's the whole idea.
Really? Honestly? Yeah, amazing.
We're stocked.
Yeah, you guys are onto a good thing there, eh, Frank? 100%. That's a lioness, Frank. A female lion. If you need 5 minutes rest, you tell me, Frank.
Fine.
For Frank, this was all about a leopard. That was the sole goal of this hunt, and getting bait is obviously essential to getting your cats feeding. With that in mind, we had decided to shoot a hippo for bait. Let's try and find another one. They're not even big. So I think that's the bull, but he's gone too far out. The problem was the crocodiles were there. There were crocodiles here, and they whoosh. I got out, man.
Looking right at us.
Yeah. No, we don't want to lose it. That's our bait here, Frank. No. We had our challenges getting bait. We did get a nice old warthog, which is what Frank also wanted. He wanted a full mount on a nice old warthog. And then another very memorable occasion looking for bait was we decided to try and get a zebra, which is excellent leopard bait. We're driving through one of these massive gorges that you have in the north here, and we spotted some zebra on top of what we call the Chizarazi Range. This is a huge mountain. I mean, literally, elevation is like that. Extremely hard hunting, lots of loose rocks and grass, not for the faint-hearted. But we felt if we could get up on the top where those zebra had just gone over, we'd be able to get one, and that would be our bait situation solved. Chatting to Frank, Frank decided he was game to give it a go, and we set off up this mountain. And I just can't tell you how in awe I am of Frank. Frank's turned 80 years old. He's got 2 blown out knees. I have never met a man with such willpower and dedication. That trip on our zebra tracking session would have put many a younger person to shame. Frank kept going, gritted on, and got to the top. And as hunting seems to happen more often than not, they heard us as we came over the top, and they set off. And this resulted in now another 2.5 hours of tracking through some of the most rugged country. And again, just absolute hats off to Frank. I can't tell you the respect that I have for him. For someone of his age and his knees, the rest of him is as strong as an ox, but his knees are gone. He plugged on, and we were very close to getting a zebra. But unfortunately, in the end, after nearly 3 hours, with them running across another huge mountain range, we called it quits and started looking for something else. You see that big green tree?
Yep.
That's where the car is. Do you want to have a rest, or do you want to push through, Frank? Good man.
Oh, yeah.
Look, Frank. Oh, look at the baby, Frank.
Yeah.
I think that's his one.
Frank, made it.
Frank, if you carry on like that, you'll never be allowed to have a knee transplant. If your doctor knew what you did, he would say, no, you got to wait another 10 years to have a knee transplant. Well done, Frank, really. Hey? That's amazing walking. Phew. Ah, man.
Wait to see some elephant.
And oh, by the way, we also did some fishing.
Right, Ann, come on. Can you come up here and get it, eh?
Oh no!
Hey, this is for you, eh? Seriously, can you do it?
Come on, Frank, there you go. Oh, go ahead.
No, of course, that means can't get another.
there.
Oh, you got another one. You got another fish there, Frank. Okay, you fight on that one. There you go. You got a fish there. Strike him.
Another one. Another one.
Another one. There you go. Yeah, oh, little bit.
Too much action happening here.
You're right.
Lekker buddy.
Hey, this is a minion.
There we go. Good job, Frank.
Another one.
Yeah. How does it feel?
Good.
Oh.
12 and a half.
How big was it?
12 and a half.
12 and a half.
Yeah.
I'll put him back in.
Yeah,
Put him back.
sure,
No problem. You can go.
Yeah.
Jeez, like amazing fishing, man. Another beautiful tiger, Frank.
Ooh,
Hey?
there's a picture.
We need a picture of that one, please.
There we go, Frank. Yes, please. Good job, Frank.
Yeah, super job. Didn't know I had it.
Nice.
Some people hate blazers, Frank. I like them. That's my 375.
Yep. Yep.
That morning we decided we would set off looking for hippo. Wasn't as easy as we thought. You've either got to find a hippo on land or you've got to find a hippo in an eddy where when you shoot them, they don't get taken by the current. What happens is you brain shoot them, they go down, and they are grounded on the floor until the gases expand in their stomach and they pop up. And that is exactly what happened with Frank's hippo.
The first one, close one, close one, yeah. In the ear, Frank. In the ear. He's coming up.
Good shot. Good shot, Frank. Let's hope he doesn't go with the current.
We found a mature one. We got in there, Frank perfectly brained it, and that solved our bait situation in one hit.
How do you get him up? You just wait?
Yeah, we gotta wait now, Frank, yeah.
I can handle that.
Big animals there, Frank. Look at that shot of yours, perfect. Eh? That's Frank's shot, absolutely spot on now. I said to Frank, shoot it in the air, and Frank literally did exactly that. Went in that ear and came out the other side. So the whole idea, we've been struggling a bit for bait. We've had one male leopard feeding, which we turned down. Got another good one feeding, but the bait, the one and only bait we've got now is getting to the point where it's rotten. So we have now sorted the bait situation out. But Frank, very good shooting.
6 days, hard hunting. Got my hippo, and it's with all we've been through, it's a real reward, and I appreciate it. Everything the guys did here, they all worked hard, and everybody's worked hard in this hunt, and I certainly appreciate it. The success is here.
Fantastic shot, and I'll tell you what, credit to Frank, you're amazing for your age, and here's our bait situation sorted. So let's now get on.
My age, old am I?
Eh?
Just a puppy.
That skin on the back, Frank, is the thickest because that's where they fight and mate. The thinnest skin is on the stomach.
Yeah.
Because it's the more protected side. But in the olden days, they used to render it down for oil and fat, and also make what we call shambak, as a whip. They used to make whips out of the hide.
Okay.
Yeah. We found the bullet, which is beautiful, man.
Where was the bullet?
up against the back here of the ear in the neck. But look how perfectly mushroomed that is. Absolutely perfect, eh?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Very much appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much more meat you got.
Oh, lots more, Frank.
More?
Oh, lots more. We've got another, there's still another 3 baits, Frank.
Yeah.
And we've got like 6 baits here, so we're in good shape.
Hi.
Hi there.
You did good, huh?
That's good.
Proud of you.
Got my hippo.
Yep. I thought he said zipper.
Hippo. Got him.
Good.
Oh,
Now we get the leopard and
yeah, that's a big one. I have my wife with me on this hunt. She's enjoyed relaxing, reading, and as a couple, 56 years, we're very happy that we're able to do this together and enjoy it with such wonderful people.
Frank, a female leopard's eating here, eh? Yeah, come and have a look at the tracks here, Frank. Huh?
Female doesn't do us any good. Gotta have a big male.
Well, that's good. You know, it's amazing. Eh? Every bait we put up is having a leopard of some form hit it so far. That's a good start. Yes, it's a female, but it could easily have been a nice big male. So.
It may be next time.
Yeah, and she may bring a boyfriend. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so for the record, guys, there are 13 baits. We'll start with the radio can choose first because, hey, he had the hot bait. So you can take 111. I've written the numbers. They will tell you here. You see down your numbers, yes, about the baits, eh? Okay. So whichever number I'll write down, eh? And whoever, for the camera, whoever gets the right bait where we kill the leopard gets a $100 cash bonus. Bennett, you can choose first. But I want to tell you, all these bigger doesn't mean better. Eh? You see, there's a big piece there. Doesn't mean better. Pressure. Okay, what number? Number 2. Mwanja 5, eh?
I want the big one.
The big one. Big is not best, eh, Eddie? Bait 2. Eddie's got the 2 baits that have not been tied up yet. Eddie, I told you, big is not best. I even told you. So this is Mwanja 6 and it belongs to Crichton. And we do this just to add a bit of humor. You know, the bait runs can get tiring, can be demoralizing. It's not a lot of money, it's $100. It keeps the humor going, it's fun, and just keeps the spirits up. So that's why we do it here. The other thing in the competition that they don't know, every time a female eats a bait, they have to pay $20. So Crichton's is $20 in the red now. On our hunts in particular, we have dragged rotten stomachs up and down rivers. We've done some massive mileage. We've carried baits into secluded areas. We've built numerous blinds with walk-ins. We ended up with 13 baits, and we had a number of males feeding. The Mwanja River was certainly better than the Chewore. I think the flies like their reflection in your sunglasses, that's why.
They're just all over.
Look at these mapanis, dude. Look at them. I can't even see you. They're just mapanis.
Well, during the week was watching these men prepare the site. One might think that it's just a matter of setting out the bait, shooting a leopard. Well, that isn't the way it happens.
So we are re-dragging all of our baits today. We're doing the big bait run. We've got 11 up and two more to go. We've got some rotten elephant here. We're going to hang up with the baits just to give it extra smell. So this is the first of 11 that are up before the morning. Right, let's go and have a look.
We ended up having at least 3 leopards, working leopards at the baits. We tagged one as Mr. Big. He was a big one. Got a fresh track, meat's gone.
Got it back and managed to break the wire. We've tracked it to where it's 8. I'm going to throw up some more meat, tie it properly. We'll probably sit here. We'll have a look at the trail cam pictures.
There he is again. You see heavy on the shoulder, heavy on the neck. Him again, him again, him again. You see he's, yeah. So I like him, Frank. You found it late, but what you remember, he managed to knock it off. And I think he'll come back very early today, I think.
Oh, the last one we were at, you mean?
Okay, look how beautiful that. There's the male there in daylight hours, eh? It gives us a better look. Eh? He's beautiful, man. What time was that? That was
daylight.
Yeah. I want to lift that hippo meat. I think he's struggling. It's too heavy for him to lift it and eat properly. You see how it's hanging down?
Yeah.
The rest he can lift. I'm worried that hippo meat is too heavy for him to lift. So we'll put it on the next branch. So, yeah, so he can eat on it. Let's have a look at the blind, Frank, quickly, while we wait for this. Let's hope you don't have to do too much sitting in that chair, Bruce. You never know where it's going.
I have the mojo. Comes early, it's dead early.
Bang, I like
Back
it.
to camp.
I like it. I like it. There were 2 lady game scouts when we were in Nyakasanga on the last. One had her makeup and her pink handbag, and the other one was the size of the Land Cruiser. So he was saying Eddie's choosing between the 2 and he's trying to weigh up which one he would like. Guess I'm eating chips. Okay, now, Frank, when I want you to shoot, I'm going to give you 2 taps. And that means you can shoot whenever you're ready. Okay? And there's no pressure, Frank. So take your time. And if he's feeding at a funny angle or trying to lift the bait, just wait. He will get tired and he'll sit or he'll stand. And I need to see the velvet bull bag as well. Because there's a female here as well. But
We had a very big cat feeding on the 4th crossing of the Mwanja, but he simply would not come in daylight hours with the exception of the morning that he found the bait.
no luck, Frank. Welcome to leopard hunting. No luck.
We ended up doing 6 sittings on him, and believe me, it can get extremely tiring when you're leaving first thing in the morning, before first light, and coming back late in the evening without any luck.
Okay, so we're walking in on our cat this morning. It's we woke up at 4 o'clock. Got about an hour to get in there. It's now 4:30 odd, so we want to get in there for first light. That's the plan of action. People talk about sitting in blinds being boring. I've got to disagree. It's absolutely a beautiful time. The tension that builds up in the blind is absolutely incredible. So I think what I need to do, Frank, I need to go all the way up to the Chewore. I think now we have 3 leopards here. We will forget about the Chewore. We work on these 3. Makes sense. Yep. There are 3 good leopards that are good for us. All of them are good leopards, eh? So let me race there on that side, get down all those meats. Tell cameras, if I see an impala on your behalf, I will shoot it, Frank. Yep. Mr. G, I'm sure will have fed last night as well. Yes. If we haven't scored with this, then we're going to go to the one that's Mr. G probably, because he seems to be not only is he a nice cat, he seems to be pretty regular. Okay. We needed to make a decision. Time was moving on. It's a 14-day hunt. Bearing in mind, you have to catch these cats in daylight hours. And we had rebaited Mr. G, and we got him back on the same tree, and we're pretty confident that that could be a done deal if we wanted.
Day 12, we went back to an area that we actually had baited on day 1, but kind of had abandoned it. Checking out other areas, we had a total of 12 baits, 12 sites.
So having decided that we're going to sit on Mr. G, we built the blind and got in there relatively early at about 4 o'clock and waited for him. And in this case, it just was the most ultimate sitting. We had hippos calling in the background, we had fish eagles, and in that soft light, having heard a bushbuck shout out, as well as some baboons and impala, we knew that that leopard was close.
I think we all felt that this was the day that something might take place. And as we sat in the blind and the birds became very active, it was obvious something was going on in the area. And as I looked out at one point, and right at the bottom of the tree was Mr. G, my leopard.
At 6 o'clock on the nail, that beautiful leopard in the most amazing light with those bird sounds behind us climbed into the tree, and was almost as if the sun was focused on him. And just when I was gonna give Frank the double tap to say, go ahead and shoot, he turned around and walked out the tree. I was horrified because we only had 15 minutes left of shooting light. Luckily for us, literally a few minutes later, up he came again. And he went right up to where the impala was, and he stopped stationary looking at that impala, and I gave Frank the double tap, which meant he can go ahead.
Keep quiet.
Just give it a few minutes. Very nice leopard, Frank. Yes, it is. Nice cat.
It was fun, and I can't even begin to tell you how exciting it was to see that animal climb up that tree and position itself for a shot.
Frank went forward, squeezed off that shot it just behind the shoulders, which is where the heart is located on the leopard. Beautiful shot. And the leopard fell out the tree and was stone dead, literally 15 yards from the bait tree. And just an absolute trophy of a lifetime. And I was so excited for Frank, and to be honest, I was so excited. It's one of those animals that still gets my knees shaking, having shot numerous cats. It is an animal that gets the adrenaline going, and when you see them coming in that soft light, it's just probably one of those life memories when you're hunting that you'll never forget. What a beautiful leopard, Frank. What an absolute beauty, man. Come and have a look at him, Frank. Well done, sir. You got your leopard, eh? What a beautiful cat, eh?
I shot back.
Do the heart.
Let's see.
Frank has got his really beautiful leopard. We've struggled. We've worked hard for this cat. We've had a couple of males. We've sat 6 times, I think, in total now.
Yep.
And we had one bigger cat feeding, but we day 12. This is a really nice Zambezi leopard. He came up. We've been watching him for a couple of days. Just the most perfect situation. And Frank made a most beautiful shot on him at about 6 o'clock on the nail. So a really pretty cat. And Frank, you really deserve him. Very well done.
Thank you. We earned it together, we did.
Absolutely we did, hey? They're a hard-earned trophy and they don't come easy, and getting them in daylight hours can be tough. So that really is a trophy well worth waiting for, Frank. Beautiful, beautiful leopard.
I guess the hardest part was sitting still for that period of time. Everything else was a lot of fun. Everything from setting the bait, which was far more complicated than I thought it would be, and building the blinds, which is our work of art, if nothing less. But the whole thing was awe-inspiring, and I enjoyed watching you guys prepare everything. As I said, the waiting was no joy, but guess what? It was tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, so beautiful him coming up the tree. I mean, absolutely magnificent. So, yeah, those are the moments you wait for, eh?
Yes, yes. Very much.
Well done, Frank. You really, really deserve it.
Thank you.
You're amazing. For 80 years old, you are absolutely amazing. Congrats.
Just a puppy.
A puppy. Well done.
You know what? The fact that we work so hard to get it makes it even that much more rewarding. We won. We won. I had my trophy. Wonderful feeling that was. We all were jubilant. That was nice. We celebrate the moment.
He did it.
What a day. Day 12, 11, yeah. Cheers.
Yeah.
And again, for being the most patient lady. Thank you very much, yeah?
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Anne.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You should have seen the baboons.
Oh yeah, they come in the Kurumkunan.
The whole family.
Yeah, he swallowed it. He got it.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
On this hunt on day 12, having got our leopard, we had a bit of time and we set out. We have an amazing fishing captain here. We had a man called Richard Chipoto, who's been here for 32 years as a fishing guide, and certainly he knows what he's doing. And Frank caught some magnificent tiger fish. For those of you that don't know a tiger, its closest relative is the piranha. He has similar sort of teeth. Luckily for us, they don't eat people. The other thing to know is it's considered the best freshwater fighting fish in the world. And Frank caught some absolute beauties. It's really one of the highlights of being on the Zambezi River. If you get a bit of time, go out fishing. Not only is the fishing splendid, you've got also all the crocs and the hippo and the wildlife along this beautiful river that makes a trip like this so special.
Now this trip, we've been out 3 or 4 times, and each time we've been able to catch tiger fish. It was a good time. It was a good time on the river, and we managed to bag several tigers over the few days we were out there, and we returned each one of them to the river. Personally, my biggest one was 13 and a half pounds. Now, there is somebody here that got one that's a little bit bigger, 18 and a half. And that's our cameraman. He got the biggest one, but we all caught tigerfish, which was more important. It didn't matter about the size.
Well done, Frank.
Yeah.
That's how you end an evening.
That's what ended it all, right there. As I sit here at the moment, looking out over the Zambezi, and we have mountains on the other side, it's awe-inspiring to just relax here and take it easy after 12 days of tough hunting. But not one of those days would I ever swap for anything else. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And I've enjoyed the company of each of these people. I've enjoyed the facility. I've enjoyed the hunt. They're first class. I had a cameraman on this trip that you might say is very enthusiastic about his job. Does a wonderful job, and I don't think there's any situation that he missed. In fact, he might have created some of those. He must have. He got some great filming. And it'll be a memory which I'll cherish for the rest of my life. However long that may be. At 80 years old, it's not as long as I'd like it, but still pumping. So, and the cameraman, again, he got the largest fish. That isn't fair, but we'll give him credit. He did a heck of a job, and I'm pleased to have made a new friend.